Hello. Hi, everybody. Hi, Kaylee. How we doing?
We're good. We miss you around here.
Miss you too. Miss you too. But we're always in touch, so never far away.
So we have you all decked out in your camp gear, and we wanted to hear about your camp experience being at Baby Glen and how long you've been here and what you love about the community here.
Yeah, absolutely. So I started at Bayview Glen. I was lucky enough to start at Bayview Glen in the fall of 2020. So last summer was my fourth summer, third as camp director. It's been an amazing experience to say the least. I come from a long line of day camps and overnight camps, and Bayview Glen is just such a special place with the school community, with the camp community, the amazing support staff that we have. I think the one thing that really sets us apart from everyone else would be our staff group. I think our staff group is fantastic. We have amazing specialists and counselors and CITs and LITs and head staff members, and it's fantastic. And what that translates into is really just a really amazing community with our campers as well, and then our camp families. And I think they really have a good idea of how much we care and how much we want their camp experience to be as wonderful as possible.
I think you said it perfectly. I think there's so many things here that make Bayview Glen such a special camp. We have such a great community. So anybody who knows Daniel knows that Daniel loves a great costume, and theme days are such a big part of what we do here, Camp Spirit. And we have the master costumer, Daniel. So Daniel, what is your favorite theme day at camp?
Oh boy, I mean, how do you choose just one? I mean, I as you mentioned, Kaylee, I love a good costume. I have two enormous duffel bags full of costumes that have been accumulated over my decades of camping. I love, as far as theme days go, I do love a good costume. I like the low pro ones as well. Like every Thursday we have a Jersey Day Thursday where you can wear a jersey, which is always nice, and we get to see some soccer, basketball, hockey jerseys, which is great. I would say if I had to choose a favorite dress up day, I mean we've had so many in the past. Any one where I get to wear, one of those big inflatable costumes. I think there's like a Zootopia day, for instance, where I have an ostrich with somebody riding the ostrich, who somebody's me when I put it on, and it's fun. Just what I found is you get two very different reactions from costumes. One is an awe and amazement, like, "Oh my God, that's great," and the other is just like, "What is this guy thinking?" So it's always great to see all the costumes, but also the responses and reactions to all the costumes as well.
The best is watching Daniel interact with the school staff wearing, a giant inflatable costume or, dressed up as the Grinch. It's always great to see the reactions and the smiles and the giggles. And I think that's what makes it so special about camp is you get to be as silly as possible.
And I think to your point, Kaylee, we see that in how much enjoyment the campers in our camp community has dressing up. We even have a couple of parents who will dress up at drop-off time, which, I mean, you can imagine when a parent walks out of the car to drop off their camper and they're in costume, the whole staff group at Carpool is just like, this is the best thing ever. This is amazing. So it's really great to see that buy-in and from the campers and the camp families as well. And I think that starts with us directors up top and head staff members who role model that behavior and to your point, just show that it's okay to be as silly as possible, especially at camp.
And I think that silliness goes back to that camp spirit, and that's what makes our camp so special. It's a safe environment to, kind of try new things, be as silly as possible, because that's what camp is about. We
Yeah,
we are
absolutely. I always say, my one of my favorite lines during staff training is that camp is a great equalizer, right? It doesn't matter where in the city our campers come from or what their family situations are. When everyone's on site at camp, everyone's exactly the same. We're all equals, and it does enable and allow for that synergy, those connections between our campers and our staff members, which is a beautiful, beautiful thing.
and I think just knowing that, camp it you get to be your best self, and I think that's where you really find who you are as a person whether it be a staff member or a camper, but it also, for me specifically, I don't know about you, Daniel, it really ignited my passion for being at camp and being a lifelong camp professional.
Yeah, I mean, they always told me growing up that at some point you had to stop going to camp, and I never really understood that because when you find something you love, if you work hard at it, you stick around, and what's even better is being able to share that experience with the next generation of kids and campers and camp families, and so. Yeah, being a full-time summer camp professional is a beautiful, beautiful thing as you are now experiencing, which and what was also wonderful to watch you thrive in that environment as well. But for all those that said you have to stop going to camp at some point, I say take that.
Well, if someone would have asked me, 10 years ago where I saw myself, I definitely didn't know that I would be working at camp full time. So if someone asked me, what I want to be when I grow up, I think I want to be a full-time, lifelong camp professional because it's where it's at. You never get to stop going to camp.
It's a beautiful thing, and it really allows you to continuously connect with our camp community, which is a beautiful, whether it's those at Bayview Glen Private School or those in our total community as well outside of the Bayview Glen School family. Everyone knows we're always just a phone call and email away, and to be that person on the other end of it answering questions, appeasing, organizing, all of those things. It's a truly is a gift, and for those that get to experience, they know. For those that kind of look at us and they're like, well, what do you do during the year? Like I get that you run a summer camp during like the 2 months of the summer, but like what else do you do? There's a lot of work that goes into it, which again you're now experiencing as well. But there is no more rewarding experience in terms of an occupation than taking a blank piece of paper, turning it into a camp program, and then watching the campers and camp families just really, really enjoy themselves. So yeah, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing, that's for sure.
So back to the Baby Glen specifics. We offer, lunch and snacks every day, and food is a very big thing. So if you had to say, what is your favorite camp meal that you would recommend and that is your go-to during the summer?
So what's ironic, and as you know about me, but not many people do perhaps, is I eat like a child. So being able to create the camp menu is actually like one of my niche market abilities because I eat like a child. And ironically, my daughter just started daycare this week as well. So now I'm on the other end of it, like scoping out their menu and wondering what's going on. But if I had to say, like, I'm a grilled cheese and fries guy. I think like that's always a good one. Um, yeah, grilled cheese and fries has always been my favorite camp meal ever since I was an overnight camper. And every camp that I've ever been to seems to have some iteration of grilled cheese and fries, whether there's a tomato soup involved as well or what's going on. But what's wonderful about us is that, we always have healthy alternatives, as our parents and camp families know, there's lots of allergy considerations as well. And as I mentioned earlier in this conversation, we have some amazing support staff, and one of those is our partners in our food service program, Chartwells, and they do such a great job of accommodating all allergies, making sure that everyone's eating healthy and safe, erring on the side of caution. So yeah, it's where I love grilled cheese and fries. Everyone has their own is like my grade 8 French unit, chacun son goût, which translates directly into to each their own. Everyone has their own loves of food. What's your favorite meal that
I'm gonna
you
go
offer?
with my go-to. You can never go wrong with a good chicken fingers and fries. And we know at camp
Yeah.
Mondays are our chicken fingers and fries. And just to add to that, like we make sure if we're having like chicken fingers and fries, we always have a veggie or a fruit component because we want our kids to experience different foods, but we also have options for everybody. So we're really lucky here.
And to that point, I think our morning and afternoon snacks have also evolved quite a bit since we started in 2020. I think every morning there's a fruit as a snack, whether it's a melon or a fruit salad or applesauce or whatever the case may be. There's always going to be a fruit snack, and then the afternoon snack is a little bit more what I would maybe refer to as child friendly, a cookie or a biscuit or something like that. We have Freezy Fridays as well. So yeah, it's all well planned out in advance with our friends from the food service team at Chartwells who do an awesome job providing feedback and making sure that everything's healthy and nutritious.
And I also think, we make sure that our kids don't go hungry. We always make sure we have food on hand. We make sure there's water. We have cold water filters. We always make sure that none of our campers go hungry because Daniel and me, we value that everybody comes to camp. We want to make sure everybody goes home well fed and happy. That's our main goal for the day. So we're going to wrap up. We have one more question. We're looking at Daniel and I have been working on 2025, some big plans, some new things that are coming. So, Daniel, what would you say to think about for Camp 2025? What to expect?
Yeah, everything's bigger and better, right? I think we really do a lot of work in collecting feedback at the end of each summer and applying that to what the next summer is going to look like. So when people are thinking, what are you doing in the months of September and October? We are setting up our camp program to open up registration as early as possible. And so we are working towards a partnership with an overnight camp at this point in time, which would give our some, if not all of our Trailblazer Maverick campers an opportunity to spend 4 nights at an overnight camp to give that a try, which is something that we're super excited about. We have some new program providers that are coming on. We like to keep things as fresh as possible. We have specialists that come in to work with our Wildling campers and our Trailblazer and Maverick campers just to keep those programs fresh and exciting and taking kids to giving kids experiences that they've never really had before. So, while we're still confirming all of those, what I can say is that the program will be bigger and better than ever. And we're excited to welcome everybody back and some new campers as well.
And I think for 2025, expect big things when it comes to our theme days, our camp challenges. We're working on, taking some of the feedback in terms of the whole camp challenges and making them bigger and better to really enhance that Baby Glen camp spirit. So just finishing up right now, I wanted to take the time to thank Daniel for meeting with us and kind of, hearing his perspective on why he loves Baby Glen. So Daniel, thank you.
My pleasure, Kaylee. Thank you for the opportunity to camp. It's always fun to talk camp, to be in the camp mindset. And to all of our community members, we miss you. We love you. We're looking forward to seeing you again. And as you know, we're always just a phone call, email away. We're happy to answer anything for you. We have an amazing year-round staff that are there. Kaylee's there. Our camp administrator, James, is there. Happy to answer anything for you. Never hesitate to reach out if you have any questions at all.
And as we always say, once you're part of the Bayview Glen family, you're always part of it. So your door is never shut. You are always part of the camp family. So please reach out, say, hey, come check out our great camp store. We would love to hear from you. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everyone. We'll
Bye.
see you all soon.
Recording.